guys, and welcome to our shop today. Today we want to give you a demonstration on how to lift your Ryker and put it up on blocks safely for both yourself and the Ryker. There'll be two different ways. One way we will show you how to block and in such a manner that you can get the back wheel off if you ever need to do so. The second one will be just raising the Ryker up on blocks so that we can work underneath it. And to do that today, I have my wonderful assistant with me. He is going to show us how this is done, and yeah, we'll go from there. I am going to raise the Ryker today for a very specific reason for myself, and that is because of this right here. I have these aluminum transmission covers that are major protection underneath the Ryker for the transmission. This is really great for me because I like to ride on a lot of dirt and back roads, and this will give me the protection I need without the worry. So really strong, made of very good grade of aluminum, fairly thick and heavy. Installation didn't look too bad when I went through the installation procedures, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it in another video. And a very, very special thank you to BRP and Can-Am for supplying these parts for me so that I can go on my travels safely and bring you all some really good footage. Also with that too, we have under the radiator protection, another really good solid piece. I have damaged a little bit under my rad, and so this is something that I'm really happy with as well. This will be a great addition for no worries and protection of my Ryker. So that's that. And then I have something very special. Look at these guys. This is alligator rim protectors in pink, of course. And I am going to be installing these, one on each front wheel, two on the back wheel. Actually, Alligator has a super good video if you're thinking on getting these, and there are so many colors you can get them in. And I would say that you should watch the video and see how simple it really is. So I'm not sure if I'll do a video on these, but I will give you a look at the finished product. So again, welcome to our shop, and let's get this Ryker raised up. Okay everybody, these are the tools that we're going to need today to get this Ryker lifted up, and I'm going to have Mike here explain what each one is and give you a little bit of info on them. So go ahead, Mike.
Okay, so when we lift a vehicle, doesn't matter what kind of vehicle you lift, safety is priority. We got a floor jack here. This thing doesn't weigh very much, less than 1,000 pounds. I'm sure you guys can look it up. But you need a floor jack. This is probably a 1,500 pound floor jack. Not sure now. But anyways, blocking. And these are overkill. You can get any jack stand, but you need to use jack stands. Anything that will hold a car will hold this thing. First thing you need to do is get the vehicle up, make sure it's in park. So you want to make sure your park brake is applied and the vehicle doesn't move. And when you lift, you need to lift on a structural part of the vehicle. So there's a frame. I will show you when we get up in the air where the frame is. But there's a frame in the center here. This supports the radiator and supports, it's basically the entire frame. And this is where you're going to lift from. And you set your jack right where that frame is. And you just lift it. Once you got the vehicle up, you set your jack stands. And of course, depending on what kind of work you're doing to the vehicle, you know, if you're removing these, of course, you're not going to be attached, put the stand there. But this is just a basic setup. Usually where the shocks mount is a good location. You do not want to be mounting here. This could bend. It's just for a stabilizer. It's not structurally sound. Little wire. There you go. And then you can lower the vehicle onto it. Now it's supported by the suspension, and essentially it's solid and it's not going to fall. If we look underneath here, you will see the frame structure. Here's your frame structure, and this is where you're going to lift from. You can lift the entire vehicle from here, right from the frame structure. Not from the center, this is just plastic, right from here. Okay. Now we're going to go to the back. Again, safety is paramount whenever you lift a vehicle. So depending again where, if you're pulling a wheel off the vehicle or if you're just going to be working in the front doing an oil change. So I'm going to show two ways of doing this. You can use the casting as long as you're gentle. Now, you can also mount from the shock mount right here. So you can lift the vehicle through the shock mount. To allow you to lift. Or you can use the structure here. It's not a frame. All it is light casting, so you don't want to get carried away there. Having a rubber in between is a good idea. You can use this. Now, you never ever support your vehicle on a jack. That, if you work in a shop and you were to do this, you'd probably end up getting fired. You use blocking or a jack stand. This is why we have these blocks. If you're going to leave the wheel on, you can just put, block's a little big, the vehicle on blocks. Doesn't quite fit. Let me do this again. I'm grabbing the shock now. Like so. Now you can do your oil change, mechanical repairs. It's a 3-point stance, so the vehicle's not going to fall. Okay, so now we're going to lift the back end, and there's two possibilities here. If you want to take the wheel off, then you have to give yourself enough room to get a block underneath. You don't want to rely on your jack itself ever. So basically doing one of these, like this, wheels off the ground, and then going to work underneath is like making yourself a death trap. You don't want to do that.
Roxy, come here.
You want to support the entire thing with a solid block. So now it can't fall over. Wheels loose. Anyways, you can take the wheel off. You're going to do an oil change. This is, unless I'm taking the wheel off, this is the only way I would use it this way. Otherwise, the best way is to put it on its wheel. Like that. It gives you plenty of ground clearance. And that's it. Now you can work underneath the vehicle.
So there we are, guys, all lifted up, and we're ready to do our work to it. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comments section. Thank you.